Hi. We have to defend the Industrial Revolution from the barbarians at the gate. The Industrial Revolution, spearheaded in and by England, is one of the most powerful, epoch-making leaps forward in human progress imaginable. The fact that I'm able to sit here and talk to you directly is because of the Industrial Revolution. There's also the small matter that without it, I and many people I know would be long dead. We should be proud of the scientific, the medical, the social, the industrial inventions, ideas and developments that have benefited the whole world for several hundred years. Instead, we are supposed to apologize for them and vilify the near genius minds that spearheaded some of the greatest inventions in history. It was only a matter of time before the Industrial Revolution came under the woke hammer. Like many other apologists, Greta Thunberg, the miserable, ill-educated, ignorant, malicious leprechaun of global warming, has been publicly saying that we should all be ashamed of the Industrial Revolution. She says this into a microphone made possible by inventions in technology triggered by the Industrial Revolution. She travels to her meaningless events by means made possible by the Industrial Revolution. The toilets she flushes, the phone she speaks into, the TV screen she appears on, the health provision she enjoys, the clothes she wears, the education she neglected, the water she drinks, the places she lives in, the lights she switches on, the hot water she washes in. None of these would exist without the Industrial Revolution. Yet apparently, the Industrial Revolution is the work of the devil. And of course, it's also racist, because everything is, and the Industrial Revolution was financed by those who profited from slavery. Of course, so much of this is nonsense, but it doesn't matter these days. If you defend the Industrial Revolution, you are by definition a devilish, racist Nazi. And you have to throw the word Nazi in for good measure. And for Nazi, read anyone who dares to speak common sense or who has some knowledge of history. You are the devil. The Industrial Revolution began in the 1700s in Britain, creating a shift to specialised equipment that led to the mass production of items. Textiles, iron industries, and many others saw surges of improvement during this era, which in turn facilitated improved systems in banking, communications, and transportation. It created an increased variety and volume in the availability of manufactured goods, and it also made them cheaper. Prior to that, your family might be making goods at home, but if you didn't have the skills, something like a shirt could cost you a week's wages. But the Industrial Revolution created an amazing array of intellectual ideas and intellectual exchange. Exchange because ideas then were not cancelled. Intellectual ideas were not politicised overtly, but had for profit, but had greater purity. Greater means and speed of communication meant that doctors and researchers could share their findings in greater ease and more quickly. Surgery advanced. It became possible to make more instruments like test tubes, scalpels, lab equipment at a lower cost so that more people could enter this field and more people could benefit. It helped to create global trading markets. Countries needed each other. This in turn created more jobs. Quality of life improved for more than just the aristocracy. Mass production, lower costs and greater availability. People in the working class could therefore obtain more items while still having some money left to save for other things. Even though there were often and well-documented poor working conditions, it became possible for some families to start building wealth of their own. More people had the opportunity to make it big during the Industrial Revolution, and some workers even took a portion of their wages to invest in other companies, leading to a growing middle class around the world. So it created a new pool of economic power that started to limit the influence of the aristocracy. This advantage eventually led to a shift in local laws that helped to give more rights to the average person. For those of us in the West, life is and has been a miracle. Toilets that flush, heating that works, lights that work, transport that means we can travel more easily, medicines and treatments that keep us healthier and alive longer. The amount of advancement in human society achieved by the Industrial Revolution is staggering. In the West, we went from a feudal society to the space age in a few hundred years. Is there a downside? Well, of course there is. Nothing comes free. As Milton Friedman said, there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's the problem of depleting resources, of pollution. Technology also creates weapons capable of destroying the world several times over. Technology itself can become weaponized. And once a genuine free market economy falls into the hands of a few globalist oligarchs who want to own everything, then of course the disparities between rich and poor become pronounced, and these are real problems. But does this mean that we have to reject all that the Industrial Revolution has given us? Well, only if you've had your brains surgically removed and you want to live in a cave and eat grass. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Rejecting it is like deliberately sinking the boat you're in because you think it's cruel to the water, or crashing the aeroplane you're in because it's using fuel. It's madness. And also what the Industrial Revolution taught us is that we have the potential brain power to solve problems that we ourselves create. You solve the problems that something creates. You don't make it a rod to beat yourself with or a reason to destroy the very society that produced you. What we do have to be careful of are the new oligarchs. These are the equivalent of a heightened socialist or communist state in which the means of production and distribution are in the hands of a powerful elite who pretend they're acting for the greater good of all. Whether it's a globalist billionaire like George Soros, or a socialist tyrant, or a Stalin, or a Mao, it's the same problem. Too much wealth, too much power in the hands of too few people at the expense of everyone else. Someone like Jeff Bezos was worth about £157 billion. The Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bill Gates, the Elon Musks are all part of the debate of wealth inequality. And in the past, an industrial revolutionist like John Rockefeller controlled 1.5% of the American economy. But these are human problems and political problems, and they are not the fault of the Industrial Revolution per se, which created possibilities that would have seemed divine several centuries ago. We've forgotten how to be grateful to those who came before and gifted us with all the benefits of modern life. We should feel gratitude, but also a sense of responsibility in solving the problems that come with the post-industrial world and the age of technology. On the one hand, we have people who want to control us, the new globalists, the despots, and on the other hand, we have lunatic liberals who want to destroy our heritage and achievements. And we're in the middle and have to try and stop both of these tyrannies from destroying us, either with their greed or from their misguided, hideous good intentions. Happy New Year.